My company had been a publicly traded business for only 2 years when Maya asked me for a divorce. She wanted to make her relationship with Alex official. Maybe it was to stop people from talking about the guy who graduated from an overseas university, worked late with her, and helped the company reach new levels of success. She said she was sorry, but felt we didn't love each other anymore and shouldn't keep hurting each other. I didn't want to let go, whether it was because of the 10 years we spent together or for our daughter. It wasn't until our daughter's birthday, when Maya quickly left after getting a call from Alex, that we had a car accident. When I woke up, I signed the divorce papers because I couldn't remember anything. And my mind was stuck in the time when I first met her. When Maya came into my fancy hospital room, I was learning to use a smartphone with help from the nurse. The accident had made me lose the last 10 years of my life. Back then, I was just a college student, young, lively, and full of energy. After the nurse patiently showed me how things worked, I ordered a fast food meal and gave a thumbs up, saying, "This is great, like living in the future." That's when Maya walked in and scowled, asking, "Liam, what kind of act are you putting on now?" I looked up and saw a beautiful and bright woman, but she looked impatient. She seemed like a stern businesswoman. Her attitude annoyed me, so I snapped back. "And who are you? You should know it's rude to shout at strangers." She stopped short, clearly not expecting me to talk to her like that. The nurse awkwardly explained that this woman was my wife. But how could that be? I was a good-looking, friendly, and cheerful young guy. And suddenly, after an accident, I'm someone's husband? The most surprising thing was that in the fancy briefcase I was brought to the hospital with, there was a divorce agreement. Maya consulted my doctor, who was famous all over the world, so there was no chance of lying about my condition. He confirmed I had amnesia. Back in my room, Maya sat across from me and watched quietly as I quickly ate my burger and fries. Licking the ketchup off my fingers, I asked her carefully, "Are you trying to trick me into marriage? I can't imagine I would choose to marry someone like you." Maya watched me for a moment, looking confused, as if she had never seen a college boy enjoy a simple meal. "Why?" Her voice was cool and steady. "First, I don't like women who try to control everything," I started. "You seem hard to deal with, and have no basic respect for people, let alone your husband." Saying husband made me feel a sudden twinge of embarrassment. Second, I overheard gossip that a woman caused her husband and daughter to crash because she rushed off to celebrate an anniversary with her lover. I joined in with the criticism before realizing I was that poor husband. Maya's lips tightened, but she didn't show any feeling. "You really think that?" "Of course," I said. "I thought I'd marry someone like Sarah." Maya's face grew dark. Sarah was the debate team leader. Pretty, smart, and strong. Mentioning another woman made Maya's face darken. Besides losing my memory, my leg had a minor fracture. No big deal. I could still make it to the government office in a wheelchair. I happily took out the divorce papers, cleared my throat, and said, "Maya, you obviously don't care about me. You must be eager to get divorced, but there's one condition." Maya's expression relaxed a bit, and she said patiently, "Go on." "The agreement says I get the house in the city center and $10 million in cash, and you want the option to buy my 15% of company shares at market price. Fine by me. But I don't want custody of our daughter." Maya's eyes sharpened, and her voice turned cold. "Don't forget, custody and shares were the things you worked hard for, refusing to let go." Stretching, I replied casually, "I don't know how I ended up being a resentful husband, but my memories are from my freshman year. I'm excited about the new world. Plus I can barely take care of myself, let alone be a dad." Maya almost laughed in frustration. "Liam, if Carrie knew you were treating her this way, she'd cry again." "Who cries more remains to be seen," I said, full of confidence, remembering the time when Liam would run to her for kisses, the time she loved him the most. Back then, I wasn't the annoying husband who constantly worried about our daughter and almost died from always checking in. Maya tore up the signed divorce agreement, saying she'd write a new one. I ignored her and turned on the TV. I didn't want to wake up as someone old-fashioned, a leftover from the past. Unexpectedly, Maya came back, pulling a 5-year-old girl behind her. "Daddy!" she cried desperately, her little hair bouncing as she ran to me, tears filling her eyes. Even though I was warned, a part of me struggled to accept it. What teenager becomes a dad so easily? I smiled awkwardly at the girl. "You're Carrie?" "Daddy, you really don't remember me?" she sniffled, and I sighed helplessly, which made her cry even more. Maya didn't take her eyes off my face, as if checking to see if I was pretending. To her, our bond was supposed to be stronger than memory loss. Everyone else could be forgotten, but not the child I nearly died for. On the day Carrie was born, I was with Maya, helping her with clients. She was in a difficult situation, forced to drink, and almost taken advantage of. I fought, got stabbed, and went into shock. That trauma made Maya go into labor early. When I woke up, doctors said my injuries that night meant I'd have lasting health issues. Carrie's custody became Maya's bargaining chip. She agreed to give me custody if I gave up company shares. Now I want nothing, but here she was, showing me Carrie. Why? Was it to get her out of the way for her boyfriend? I really enjoy spending time with Carrie. She's such a good kid, even feeding me apple slices the caregiver cut up. She says I've become more fun, not as sad as before, always frowning. I'm a little curious. "Carrie, what was Dad like before?" Her tiny hand cupped my face. Dad was good to me back then, too, but he always sighed in his study and rarely smiled at Mom. Well, when you find out your partner is cheating, even a good person can't smile through that. People are complicated, but Maya has moved on. Why can't I let it go? People are complicated, I guess. The person I was 10 years ago couldn't see who I'd be today. Maya drove her fancy car to pick up Carrie and me. She won't sign the divorce papers. She says she's worried I'd regain my memories and cause trouble. Who picks up something once it's thrown out? Maya carried a sleeping Carrie with one arm and my change of clothes with the other. You don't want custody, but Carrie can't be without you. I limped behind her on crutches. When we got inside, I was surprised. The house was exactly my style, cozy and comfortable, but it was 300 square meters. Imagine the prices near downtown. Maya watched my reaction closely, with a small smile. I felt thirsty. "Where's the glass? I want some water." It took Maya a while to find one and hand it to me. I joked, "Seems like you hardly come home, huh? Not familiar at all." She looked at me quietly with no visible emotion, but someone was showing signs of impatience. As Maya awkwardly washed Carrie's hair, her phone rang. I glanced at it, curious. "Who's Alex? Should you get that?" The phone kept ringing. Maya's calm expression finally cracked. She spat out, "No need." I went back to the living room, opened a bag of chips, and put my feet on the couch to watch TV. Around 10 o'clock, the doorbell rang. A man in a black sweater and gold glasses showed up, looking exactly like a wealthy professional. "Who are you?" He ignored me. "Where's Maya?" "Putting Carrie to bed." He walked in with his polished shoes. "Liam, why are you refusing to sign the divorce papers? Isn't Maya offering enough?" "The company's success is all thanks to me and her. You're just a stay-at-home husband. How dare you hold on to her?" I may have lost my memory, but I'm still smart. This must be Maya's lover. Bold and boastful, even aggressive toward me. It's frustrating. I suddenly understand why I couldn't let go after all this time. It's not about still wanting the woman, it's about swallowing this bitter pill. Maya heard the noise and appeared. Alex switched to a polite tone. Maya, I've been waiting. Weren't you coming back after they left? Seeing my amused look, she seemed uncomfortable. I'm worried he can't take care of Carrie, so I'm staying tonight. Alex sighed dramatically. But you promised you wouldn't be with him anymore. What's this soap opera twist? I shooed them. Take Carrie and leave. Don't interrupt my TV drama. Alex glared. Liam, don't think backing off will make Maya change her mind. Are you nuts? I said. I didn't say anything and you filled in the blanks yourself. Do you want the contact for my doctor? He's great. Maya pushed him out. Go, I'll handle this. Alex left, clearly annoyed. I sipped my drink, couldn't help asking, by the way, why hasn't my dad visited after my accident? Maya paused. Words failed her. Flashes of a year ago came into her mind when Liam's father was on his deathbed, and I begged her to return for a final goodbye. She claimed to be abroad, too far to come back. In truth, she was in Switzerland with Alex. Liam. Her voice now held a strange mix of sympathy and regret. Goosebumps rose. It must be because of how bad things are between us. Promise to stay calm after hearing this. Dread lurked in my chest. Spit it out. Don't scare me. He passed a year ago. I stumbled, the glass slipping from my grip and shattering. No way. Tears blurred my vision as I desperately looked for his number. Surely he was relaxing in the countryside, gardening, sipping afternoon tea. The number was no longer valid. Tears poured. Like a sky with endless holes, I couldn't patch it up. Since childhood, it was just me and Dad. He went against my grandfather, loved a reckless woman, and had me. It's a tough life. And now I've failed to live better. He'd be so disappointed. Maya held me as I cried, wiping tears like comforting a child. Liam, don't. I pushed her away. Leave. Dad worked multiple jobs to raise me. It was tiring, but he was strong. If not for your insistence on early marriage and kids, I wouldn't have lost him. He always said if I didn't behave, it'd kill him. That's not how it went. Maya tried explaining, but her words felt hollow. She pursued me in college, rushed to marry post-graduation, and convinced me to have a kid for my sick parents. In the end, she left me for another. All those forgotten pieces of memory resurfaced, along with my guilt for Dad, crashing into Maya's mind. I remembered my reason for refusing to divorce before I lost my memory was wanting to keep a family whole for Carrie, not wanting her to grow up broken. Back then, Maya scoffed. Coldly, she said, Liam, falling out of love means just that. I'll compensate you well. Don't drag the kid into this. Until now, my mind drifts back to 10 years ago. I still remember how my dad taught me, and I'm convinced that going against his advice led to this tragedy. Maya finally realized that the deep-rooted beliefs from her family couldn't be fixed with money. When the sun came up, I woke up. Maya took Carrie to kindergarten and came back with a basket of dumplings. My heart ached for a moment. It was my dad's favorite food. I finally calmed down and told her, let's get the divorce sorted out soon. Maya disagreed. Your dad died from illness. It had nothing to do with you. In fact, he was quite happy with me and believed I could take good care of you. No need to blame yourself. I knew I was overthinking it. But waking up to find the person who loves you most is gone. You need an outlet. Things got tense. Maya refused to go to the Civil Affairs Bureau and started spending more time at home. Ms. Always Busy. Maya patiently picked Carrie up from school and even cooked dinner. A totally different person than the one I saw when I first woke up. During dinner, I couldn't help but ask, "What's gotten into you? Did you forget you had another life outside?" Maya glanced at me, put a piece of boneless fish in Carrie's bowl, and calmly said, "Don't talk nonsense in front of the child." I smirked. As far as I remember, I didn't really bad-mouth her in front of our daughter. They seemed to get along just fine. Later, Carrie clung to Maya, asking for a bedtime story, and whimpered, "Mom, Dad said you were too busy to be home. Are you on a break now? Will you stay with me forever, second best in the world?" "Yes." I was stunned, listening. When I was young, my mom left us, but my dad rarely spoke ill of her. It wasn't because he couldn't let her go. He just felt that I had already lost her presence, so he didn't want me to grow up bitter. My dad gave me twice the love, tried to meet all my needs, and competed with other moms at parent-child events. He said, "Anything moms can give, I'll give you. Anything dads can provide, I won't fall short." Being a single dad was just too tiring. He didn't want me to repeat his path. Remembering my loving dad, I grabbed my laptop to look for work. Maya had mentioned that after Carrie was born, I'd quit my job. Her affair even mocked me for being a house husband with no contribution. If my dad were alive, he'd be furious. He spent so much effort and money on my education, cutting corners to get me tutors. He definitely wouldn't want me to just sit around. When Maya put Carrie to sleep, she saw me updating my resume. She frowned. "You're looking for a job? I've given you enough money to live well. What about Carrie if you work?" "Strange. Carrie's in kindergarten. Why can't I work?" "You've always been the one taking care of Carrie. What if she gets sick?" "There's no what if," I cut her off coldly. "Then come help at the company. I'll pay you the highest salary." I chuckled in disbelief. "If I remember right, isn't that guy also in the company? You want them both, or you want to see me embarrassed?" "That's not what I mean. Carrie's weak. If she gets sick, it's easier for you to take leave." "I think you're the one who's sick, and it's serious," I said. I logged into an old app, and a college friend, Sam, sent a message. "Liam, you're something else. Graduated and ran off to a city, got married and had a kid, ditched your old friends. Want to come back for N University's centenary?" I bought a ticket without a second thought. Oddly, even though I lost a decade's memory, the city felt familiar. Sam cheered, "You really lost your memory? Remember that time I embarrassed myself in the girls' bathroom? I'd forgotten, and now I'll remember for another 30 years thanks to you." Annoyed, he asked if I remembered Sarah. That made me happy. Sarah was famous at N University, super pretty, well off, debate team captain, top in her major. Sam rambled on. "The goddess had a thing for you, the handsome, cheerful freshman. During sophomore year, she went abroad and reconciled with her first boyfriend, didn't come back. You were a wreck, giving Maya her chance." Then he switched topics. "Heard Sarah's running a company in a city. Have you two met?" I honestly didn't recall. At N University's auditorium, Sarah, an outstanding alumna, donated $10 million to the school. She spoke clearly on stage. I stared for ages until her sharp features matched that girl in my memories. A smile crept onto my face. Those were romantic teenage days. Maya wasn't in my life back then. "Long time no see," Sarah approached, warm smile intact, and we took a stroll around campus. In my mind surfaced the image of a cool, composed scholar, dazzling during debate. Back then, I'd boldly cheer for Sarah from the sidelines. I thought she might like me a little too, but then our youth slipped by. Sarah, with a deep look, asked, Liam, you lost your memory? How'd you know? Her family was from a city, she heard through the grapevine. Feeling awkward, I asked if she knew I was married with a daughter. Her voice stiffened momentarily before she softly continued. I heard you're job hunting? Yeah, back then I thought your talents shouldn't just fade away within a family, especially since I got into N University as the 5th top scorer in the city. Why not give my company a go? But I've forgotten so much. No worries, I'll teach you. Returning to my alma mater didn't recover memories, but did reconnect me with friends. Sam dragged me into our old dorm group chat. They joked, Liam, after getting married, you let go of so much. The former sunshine of our group had become someone new, focused entirely on Carrie. In the chat group, they'd talk about promotions and raises. Meanwhile, I was busy changing my daughter's diapers, making baby food, and comforting Maya's struggles with her startup. Then one day, I left the group. Time and distance caused me to drift apart from my old friends. Listening to my roommates complain, I'd laugh at myself. Maybe someone put a spell on me back then. Sarah sent over some materials for me to get familiar with the company. I pulled out my senior year mindset and studied hard. Luckily, the knowledge I learned isn't like simple memories. It stays firmly rooted in my brain. I started learning how to do in-depth industry reports and studied the impact of current policies. Whenever I didn't understand something, Sarah would help immediately, letting me use any resources I needed. She told me not to rush, and that with my learning ability, I'd get great results if I just took it step by step. I quickly got into the groove and started handling significant work at the company. In contrast was Maya's attitude. She initially scoffed, thinking it would be hard for me to make the transition, but eventually she came around. Of course, Maya has more than one household to manage, so she can't personally take care of our daughter all the time. She hired a nanny and even interviewed a professional child-rearing specialist. Carrie is quite good. She sees me working hard and doesn't fuss. She says she likes the new me more. Dad smiles a lot more now and looks even more handsome. In the past, my wardrobe was mostly casual sportswear and matching outfits with Carrie. Now, since I often meet clients, I can't embarrass Sarah too much. One day, Maya called and harshly scolded me. Liam, you know Carrie has severe allergies. How could you give her candy with sesame in it? You're such a failure as a dad, risking our daughter's life, needing emergency help in the hospital. These days, I've been working overtime, often with snacks to stay awake. Thinking of the candy I hastily put in Carrie's bag in the morning that indeed had sesame filling, my heart felt a tight grip. But Maya's attitude was too harsh. I retorted out of grievance. Why are you yelling? I forgot all the foods our daughter is allergic to. You're her mom. You only mentioned she can't have egg proteins or seafood, so how would I know nuts are a problem too? Maya paused. She was very anxious. The child specialist called, saying that Carrie had blotchy red spots all over and couldn't stop having diarrhea, even having difficulty breathing. Maya's first reaction was that it was my fault for not looking after our daughter properly. She forgot that initially, Carrie was allergic to seafood, eggs, and dairy, so her meals had to be specially prepared. I stayed home to carefully plan her nutritious meals, because hiring someone wasn't reassuring. Day after day, I was caught up in the kitchen, preparing meals for both our daughter and my wife. It's been a long time since Maya heard about allergies. Not because Carrie's immunity strengthened, but because of my silent efforts. But after the company took off so rapidly, the allure of the tempting world outside meant the warm, ordinary moments at home no longer kept her tied down. The sudden realization struck Maya. It felt like a piece of her heart was missing, and she knew it might be lost forever. When we got to the hospital, Carrie was half asleep on the bed, her long lashes wet with tears, looking so small and helpless. My nose tingled with guilt. The little girl opened her eyes, asking for a hug. "Daddy?" I reached out, embracing her warmth and softness. Over time, I was adapting to being a dad and accepting everything that came with this new chapter. "Sweetie, I'm sorry for forgetting about your allergy to sesame." "It's okay. Everything you used to make was by your hands. I just miss your snacks. When you're better, how about I make you some?" Maya stayed overnight for the first time, probably afraid I'd give our daughter the wrong things again. As I was about to leave, she followed me. The hospital corridor was quiet, the air filled with the smell of disinfectant. Maya spoke. "Liam, I'll give you $10,000 a month if you would quit your job and stay to look after Carrie." I looked at her like she was crazy. "So what? Do you consider me a nanny or a nutritionist?" "I don't mean it like that. You could stay home and care for Carrie. Why not now?" "Because I forgot. I've risked my life to build this family, and I can't anchor my future on you any longer. Leaving a gap in my resume makes finding a job tough. You want to keep me trapped for another decade so I'd have to beg you and your affair partner?" "Liam, I've said I wouldn't let you be put out. Don't be stubborn." "People's hearts change." My phone rang, so I ignored her. "Sarah, you're at Hotel K? I'll be there soon." Anger spread across Maya's face as she grabbed my wrist. "Where are you going at this hour? What's it to you? Meeting someone? That's not happening." "You can't stop me." "Then I won't stay with Carrie, you can." "Crazy." "Liam, you said you'd only belong to me in this life. Why break that promise now?" Is she losing her mind? I pushed her away. "Maya, when we got married, I'm sure you vowed to love me forever too. You broke that promise, so why should I keep mine?" Maya's hands dropped with a look of dejection, watching my fading figure. Memories rushed in. In the early days of her startup, I'd hand out flyers, beg customers, and pick her up late at night. Every scorching summer day and freezing winter night, I was the only one by her side. After Carrie came along, worrying I'd get in the way of her work, I took Carrie for checkups on my own. Unlike the pediatric ward we'd just passed, where many kids were with both parents. But I never complained. Somehow, all of it got forgotten once Alex arrived in our lives. He sweet-talked her into thinking it was only once he got there that the company took off, and he was the one destined to share in the success. She completely forgot that all great accomplishments require a foundation built from the ground up. Without my efforts, the company wouldn't have even reached the point where it had a chance to grow. Sarah wasn't someone who'd ask me to pick her up just for being drunk. That night, she had met with a big client, an alum from University N, and wanted me to touch base. Seeing my nervousness, she encouraged me, "Don't be scared. Once you do it the first time, it'll be easier. Get ready to head back to In-City tomorrow for another big deal." "It's a great opportunity," she added with warmth. I appreciated it a lot. With my poor resume, there's no way I could have grown so quickly without Sarah's help. She had her driver take me home before leaving slowly in her fancy car. Early in the morning, Maya called while I was already at the airport. "Liam, your suitcase is missing. Where are you heading?" "For a business trip. With Sarah? You're married, you know? You're crazy. Doesn't your company send male employees on trips? Quit and come home. Your daughter needs you." "You're lying. I called her first thing, and she said she felt better. Mom's not even at the hospital. You have someone else to keep you company. I've got work to do. Seems fair to me. Just stop. What about Alex?" "I don't want to talk to someone who's clueless." I hung up abruptly and prepared to board. Maya gives me a damn familiar vibe. At first, her and Alex weren't that close, but I was hell-bent on thinking the new overseas-educated male employee was trouble and wanted him out of the company. Alex, always trying to justify himself, said he didn't mind being misunderstood as long as the company was okay. I gotta admit, Alex was impressive back then. He was charming, sweet-talking, and much more appealing than my grumpy husband at home. Maya and he eventually ended up in bed after some chats. When I called to check in, all I got was impatient excuses. Maya never thought that one day I'd stop fussing over her being at Alex's place. I even let other men enter our lives. Maya was frustrated by my possessiveness. Arriving at the hotel, it wasn't just me and Sarah. A core team was with us. We discussed passionately like those college debate days. 10 years later, Sarah was wearing a perfectly tailored suit. Tall, composed, and graceful. I couldn't help but compliment her. "You haven't lost your charm. Still smart and beautiful. I bet you captivate everyone." She smiled. "And you, just as sunny as before. Quite the change from last year." I caught a fleeting hint. "Where?" "Back then your dad had just passed. It's good we're past it now." I felt a moment of darkness, but quickly regained clarity. This time, I've pieced together my past from clues around me. An anxious, stay-at-home dad, frantically checking in, tangled with a cheating wife, out of touch with society. Each label screamed despair. But post-amnesia, I didn't battle demons. Cutting losses found me new horizons, rediscovering the hopeful me. Sarah snapped a picture of me brimming with confidence. "Let everyone see the shining new you." Many said I looked handsome and confident now, but Maya became more nagging. She called several times, asking when I'd be back. Said with seasonal change, Carrie got sick twice and visited the hospital thrice. I decided to only call my daughter. Coughing, her soft voice said, "That mean uncle is annoying. He said I faked being sick, blaming you, Dad. But Mom doesn't seem to believe that anymore, and they argued. Did I do something wrong?" "Of course not. Tell someone if you're sick, don't keep it in." I could guess what was happening. Carrie's always been weak, a frequent patient. But before, Maya rarely took care of her. When not home, she'd believe Alex's suggestions that I purposely made Carrie sick to make Maya come home. Caring for her herself, Maya found it wasn't just about money with a weak kid. "You certainly can't just leave it all to a nanny." Carrie told me not to rush back. "I miss you, Dad, but I love it more when you're like a happy little son." What a sweet daughter. Just like I love my dad, she deeply loves me too. The day the deal closed, Sarah and I walked out of the hotel near my alma mater, smiling. Unexpectedly bumped into someone. Maya's dark eyes locked on mine. Her aura was intense. First thought? A crazy woman about to attack. Ready to ignore, I heard her slightly hoarse voice. "Why didn't you pick up my calls?" Who has the time to listen to the ex-wife pressuring me to be a stay-at-home dad in between working hard? She disregarded my silence. With an appreciative look, she checked me out. Sarah's stylist dressed me in an Armani suit. I looked sharp. Far from the shabby stay-at-home dad in oversized home clothes, busy with cooking, childcare, and hospital trips. Sarah casually asked, "Liam, want to join the celebration party tonight?" Maya cut in. "Carrie's here. The nanny took her to buy your favorite dumplings near school. She said she'd never been to your college and wanted to visit." What's with that move? I'm at a loss. Sarah was unbothered. "No problem. Deal's sealed. Feel free to leave separately. The ticket's on the company." Maya's competitive side flared. "No need. We'll fly back first class." After colleagues dispersed, I questioned Maya. "We're getting divorced. What's with this? I thought you came alone with her." Not answering my calls hurts. I chased her before, and she didn't care. Now that I'm no longer circling around, she's following me. Carrie was holding my hand, hopping along the college path. I got inspired and showed her where I won races and where I was late for class. Carrie gleefully frolicked on the yellowing grass. Her sweet smile resembled my younger self. By dusk, Maya trailed behind, her face pained. "I'm sorry. Just remembered we once said we'd return here with our kid. It's nice we did. In many mornings here, you brought breakfast from my college to the neighboring one for me. Daring middleman for my first entrepreneurial attempt, you faced rejection selling product in boys' dorms. When funds were low, knowing I spent on ramen to get you a bunny cake moved you to tears." Maya dreamt of on-campus entrepreneurship. I often used my allowance to support her. For my birthday, she did 2 days of hard labor last minute to afford a surprise, got injured moving furniture. Watching my girlfriend hobble toward me, cake in hand, I broke down into tears. "Maya, why are you so silly? I've had cake before." "It's different. You only turned 20 once. I wanted to get you the sweetest thing in the world." But later, she forgot even my birthday. Luckily, I forgot everything, whether it was happiness or hurt. Maya, however, got stuck with the memories. The more she talked, the more guilty she became. Her face suddenly looked like she owed me a fortune. I just showed indifference, maybe even a touch of coldness. "If we walked all this way together, and you still betrayed me, then you deserve to be forgotten." Maya was stunned. Her apologies were hitting a wall, not making a dent. She had nothing left to say. In the quiet campus, her phone rang. She ignored it. The caller persisted. She declined a few times, but finally answered. Alex's voice shrieked out, audible even without speaker. "Maya, why are you avoiding me? Didn't you promise you'd divorce that guy and meet my parents? I told you he'd be manipulative, pretending his daughter's sick or that memory loss thing, betting you'd go soft." The call ended. Maya suddenly clutched my arm. "Liam, for Carrie's sake, can you give me another chance?" I shifted my daughter, asleep on my shoulder, taking 2 steps back. "Maya, I forgot, but I'm not stupid. You and Alex are already at the meet the parents stage. I don't want a woman who's been sullied." She looked pained. "I won't go with him. I've remembered a lot since your amnesia. You did so much for me and our daughter. I don't believe you can leave us." "Are you crazy? Get your head checked." I quickly left with Carrie in my arms. She stood dazed, watching us go, her eyes reddening. The leaves were falling, like replaying our youthful days, eating, shopping, catching a movie, making sweet memories. We once promised to spend a lifetime together, imagining concert nights together when old. But in the end, Maya found someone new, and I lost my memory. Returning to the same places, I see only familiar scenery, no longer anyone dwelling there for someone else. Maya is a whole new person. She suddenly spent more time at home, doing crafts with Carrie, clumsily making my favorite braised ribs. I was the one working late and attending social events now. Alex found a way to contact me. He kept provoking me. Spent my birthday with him watching fireworks instead of with me. Bought him the latest designer watch for a parent-child event. Liam, stop pretending. You're just using Maya's sympathy to hold on to her. Didn't you know how gentle and tender she is in bed with me? Doesn't this guy realize my memory only covers simpler college days? I sent Maya screenshots. "Control your lover. Hurry up with the divorce. If he keeps being the secret third wheel, he might explode." Maya's expression changed. "I'll handle it." Who knows how she spoke to Alex, but he cornered me at Sarah's company demanding answers. "Liam, what did you say to Maya? Why is she suddenly bringing up old stuff? I've been overlooked for so long. Now that the company's going public, it wouldn't have happened if I didn't do my part, letting you play house husband in peace." I was speechless. Alex, losing control, smashed a glass bottle and forcefully shoved me. My hand was deeply cut, blood staining the ground. Maya arrived as Sarah called the police, personally tending my wound. Alex collapsed into Maya's embrace, crying desperately. "Don't leave me! Without Liam complicating things, you wouldn't dare ask for everything you spent on me back." Maya pushed him away, voice icy. "It's not Liam. You were greedy. Your hand is in the company funds." His answer was a hysterical cry. "So what if I fell for a married woman? I deserved being blamed. But if I hadn't secured that order, the company wouldn't have rebounded, let alone go public." Sarah's actions paused. Maya's gaze grew complex. "Alex, are you still lying? I checked. The one who threw us the lifeline admitted it was because of Liam." Alex had taken credit. He left his job and got close to the CEO. Maya looked scornful. "Alex, you faked your credentials. What else can you do but lie?" His face flushed, lips quivering. "You pampered your husband back then, constantly jealous for him, worrying about family, even during near bankruptcy. I want a good wife. What's wrong with that?" I'm stunned by his twisted logic. I aimed a solid kick at him, not concerned about the aftermath. Alex toppled over, his face scraping against broken glass, leaving a long scar. Enraged, he tried to charge at me, but Sarah and Maya stood between us. While giving statements, the camera was a blind spot, no one else to blame. Alex had plotted from the start, picking a secluded corner to attack. Maya and Sarah testified, saying he struck first, and I'd just defended myself. Alex couldn't believe it. "Maya, you're accusing me falsely over this freeloader." Maya's voice turned colder. "Don't think I don't know. You bribed the babysitter to lace the pastries with peanut butter to force me to give up custody of Carrie. If I hadn't been home more often lately, she could have almost died because of you. How dare you try to harm my daughter? You're heartless." I lost it and slapped him across the face at the police station. Alex acted insanely. She always competed for attention, pretending to be sick so her mom would come back home. Men's jealousy is terrifying. Regardless of age, they hit just as hard. Carrie wasn't hurt, so Alex didn't go to jail. But his smugness didn't last long. Maya fired Alex for faking his degree and tried to win me back by reclaiming all the money she spent on him. Corner a dog, and it bites back. Alex drank heavily and tried to crash his car into me and Carrie. Maya, probably feeling guilty, pushed us out of the way and got hit by the car. The air went dead silent for a moment. Alex pounded the steering wheel and yelled, "Maya, why save them? They're not worth it. Liam, Maya never loved you. The day your dad died, she was with me skiing in Switzerland. If you get back together with her, your dad would look down on you from the grave." Maya turned deathly pale, lying in a pool of blood. I'm just like that. If I can't have someone, no one else can. Obsessive love is terrifying. Maya survived, but at the cost of losing a leg. When signing the divorce papers, she said bitterly, "I thought maybe you forgot about Dad, and we could start over. But now that you know the truth, you'll never forgive me." Indeed, I didn't regain my memory. But the way I loved my dad, I could never forgive my wife for flirting with another man when he was dying. That wasn't just a betrayal to me. It cut deep into my dad's heart. When Dad was about to pass away, he wanted to leave me in Maya's care, but she didn't even pick up the phone. His unsaid last words became his final regret. "I'm taking custody of Carrie, and more shares." Maya agreed, saying she owed it to me. "I'm sorry. The ups and downs of life can make someone truly admit their mistakes. Liam, I hurt you in the past. I hope you don't hold it against me." I felt no waves inside. I don't hate you or remember anything with you." Maya's face turned pale. "Liam, how can you not remember?" It meant our shared memories were only kept by her. Maya grew more discouraged. Business went bad, and her health deteriorated. I left without hesitation. The cashed-in money was enough for Carrie and me to live comfortably for 2 lifetimes. Later, I heard Maya had Alex tortured in jail. Without him, she could have had a complete family and a bright future. But you can't undo betrayal. There's no turning back. Not regaining memories wasn't bad for me. I lived as if I'd never been hurt, embracing life, chasing dreams anew. Carrie said, "I love the dad now, always smiling and happy, like a warm little lamp on the nightstand." I got promoted and a raise. At the company gala, Sarah proudly introduced me to the CEO of our group. Who knew that he'd immediately smile upon seeing me? "Isn't this the guy you asked me to help back then?" Turns out Sarah was the one who helped Maya's company back then. In the banquet hall, music flowed. I twirled my wine glass. "Sarah, why didn't you take credit for your good deed?" She pondered for a moment, clinking glasses with me. "I went abroad on an exchange, not staying for my first love. I got seriously injured while skiing, healed abroad for a long time, and went on to graduate school there. When I came back, you were someone else's husband, so I let go. But when Maya's company faced a crisis, I saw you swallowing your pride, holding your child, and asking for help. I couldn't stand by." At the time, Sarah knew Maya was jealous. To keep peace between us, she asked her friend to help. Her friend was often abroad, leaving Alex with an opportunity. Snowflakes fell gently as Sarah confessed to me, but I hesitated. "You're so amazing, but I'm divorced with a kid." Her eyes reddened slightly. "Liam, since I nearly died back then, I realized life is unpredictable. You have to cherish what's in front of you." Sarah's slightly trembling voice, warm and raspy, drifted into my ears. We walked hand in hand in the snow. I heard a child reciting, "Snowfall heavy, the chill deeper. May you have clothes to wear in the cold, warmth in your heart. May you meet someone special, fill your life with joy, and enjoy a peaceful life together." The sands. "Beautiful spring of tomorrow will surely arrive as expected, with all the warmth of the world."